A crucial phone conversation between U.S. President Donald Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin has brought fresh diplomatic focus to the escalating Iran conflict and the ongoing war in Ukraine. According to Russian media reports, the call was initiated by President Trump and lasted for nearly an hour. The discussion reportedly centered on two major global flashpoints: the growing confrontation involving Iran and the stalled negotiations surrounding the Ukraine war. RT News described the conversation as constructive, with both leaders exchanging views on possible ways to ease tensions. Kremlin aide Yuri Ushakov said President Putin outlined several ideas for a political and diplomatic settlement around the Iran conflict during the call. Moscow, he suggested, believes that diplomacy remains the only path to preventing further escalation in the region. Putin also reportedly offered a positive assessment of U.S. mediation efforts in the Ukraine crisis, indicating that Russia sees potential for progress through negotiations if diplomatic channels remain open. The phone call comes at a time when tensions between Iran, the United States, and Israel have sharply intensified, raising fears of a wider regional confrontation that could draw in global powers. Just hours earlier, Russian President Vladimir Putin had publicly reaffirmed Moscow's support for Iran amid the escalating conflict. In remarks reported by international media, Putin said Russia would stand firmly with Tehran during what he described as a period of severe challenges.
Russian President Vladimir Putin has reaffirmed Moscow's support for Iran amid the escalating conflict with the United States and Israel. In remarks reported by international media, Putin said Russia would stand firmly with Tehran during what he described as a period of severe challenges for the country. Putin also congratulated Mojtaba Khamenei on his appointment as Iran's new leader following the death of Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. According to reports, the Russian president expressed confidence that Mojtaba Khamenei would continue his father's legacy and unite the Iranian people during the ongoing crisis. Speaking about the situation in Iran, Putin said the country was facing armed aggression and that leadership during such a moment would require courage and dedication. He said Russia wished to confirm its unwavering support and solidarity with what he called Iran's friends and partners. Earlier, Putin also held a phone call with Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian. During the conversation, the Russian leader conveyed condolences over the killing of Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, as well as several Iranian political and military figures and civilians who were killed during the recent strikes. Putin's strong message of support comes as Israel has warned it could pursue the successor to Iran's late supreme leader. The warning signals that the conflict may continue to target the highest levels of Iran's political and military leadership. Meanwhile, new reports suggest Russia may already be assisting Iran in the conflict. According to the Washington Post, U.S. officials say Moscow has been providing Tehran with intelligence on the locations of American warships and aircraft operating in the Middle East. The report says the information could help Iran track and potentially target U.S. military assets across the region. While Russia has not publicly confirmed the claim, the allegation points to the possibility of deeper geopolitical involvement as the war continues to widen.
Russia is providing Iran with intelligence on the locations of American warships and aircraft in the Middle East, according to a report by the Washington Post. US officials say the information is helping Tehran target American military assets in the region. The Washington Post reported that the intelligence sharing marks the first indication that another major US adversary may be indirectly involved in the expanding conflict. 3 officials familiar with the intelligence said Moscow has passed targeting data to Iran since the war began. According to the Washington Post, the information reportedly includes positions of US warships, military aircraft, and radar systems across the Middle East. Officials say such intelligence could help Iran plan attacks against American forces and installations. The report says Russia has been sharing the information since the conflict escalated on Saturday. While Moscow has not commented publicly, officials say the assistance signals a deeper geopolitical dimension to the ongoing war. The Washington Post also reported that the conflict has already turned deadly for American troops. 6 US service members were killed and several others injured in an Iranian drone strike on a military site in Kuwait on Sunday. Since the start of the war, Iran has launched thousands of one-way attack drones and hundreds of missiles at US military positions, embassies, and other targets in the region, according to officials cited by the Washington Post. At the same time, the joint US-Israeli campaign has struck more than 2,000 targets inside Iran. These include ballistic missile facilities, naval assets, and sites linked to Iran's leadership structure, the Washington Post reported. 2 officials familiar with the intelligence told the Washington Post that China does not appear to be providing similar assistance to Iran. While Beijing maintains close ties with Tehran, there is currently no indication it is sharing targeting data.
As missiles hit oil facilities and tankers in the Gulf, Moscow is stepping into the crisis. The Kremlin says President Vladimir Putin will convey Arab leaders' concerns directly to Tehran over strikes on energy infrastructure. The move follows a flurry of calls between Putin and Gulf state leaders. Oil prices have now risen for a 3rd straight day as attacks target regional energy assets. Russia says it will try to ease tensions, even as fighting widens. But notably, there are no plans for a Putin-Trump conversation. According to Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov, President Putin will convey deep concern from Arab leaders about Iranian strikes on oil infrastructure. Peskov said Putin would use Moscow's ongoing dialogue with the Iranian leadership to press for at least a slight easing of tensions. Russia maintains a strategic partnership with Iran, giving it a rare communication channel at a volatile moment. The Kremlin described the outreach as part of efforts to contain escalation spreading across the Gulf. Putin held multiple calls with 4 Arab Gulf leaders over the past 24 hours. Among them was Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, president of the United Arab Emirates. The UAE described recent Iranian strikes as blatant attacks targeting Emirati territory and other Arab states. Both leaders reviewed what they called serious military and security developments unfolding across the region. The joint message? Halt escalation before the conflict widens further. The outreach underscores growing alarm among Gulf states as energy infrastructure comes under fire. Oil prices have climbed for a 3rd consecutive day. The spike follows Iranian retaliatory strikes against energy facilities in Gulf countries and against tankers in the Strait of Hormuz. The strait remains one of the world's most critical oil choke points. Any disruption there reverberates instantly across global markets. With infrastructure targeted and shipping threatened, energy security has moved to the center of the crisis. The economic ripple effect now matches the military escalation. Despite the widening confrontation, Putin has not spoken with U.S. President Donald Trump since the U.S. and Israel launched strikes against Iran. Peskov confirmed there are no plans for such a conversation at this time. That absence is notable. As Washington and Tel Aviv press forward militarily, Moscow is engaging Gulf capitals, not the White House. Diplomatic lines remain active, but selectively. And in a rapidly escalating conflict, who speaks to whom can matter as much as what is said.